On Tuesday of this week, Steve Bannon spent many hours behind closed doors testifying in front of Congress about, I guess, the Trump-Russia investigation and everything that he may or may not know. Well, last week, long before his congressional testimony this week, he was subpoenaed by the grand jury that was put together by Special Prosecutor Robert Mueller. So, in the coming days, maybe coming weeks, Steve Bannon will be forced to testify under oath about everything he knows, everything he saw, and everything he did as part of the Donald Trump administration and the Trump campaign. Now, what makes this really interesting here is the timing of all of this. With the recent release of Michael Wolff's book, Fire and Fury, we know that Steve Bannon does believe that crimes were committed by the Trump administration, or at least that's what he told Michael Wolff at the time. Now, he has kind of sort of maybe backtrack on those claims at this point, but as many believe, that was to appease Donald Trump and to try to not lose his job, which has already happened. We're pretty positive at this point, according to reports, that Manafort and Papadopoulos have flipped on Trump and that they're willing to tell everything. And those guys were small potatoes in the grand scheme of things. Steve Bannon, the guy that worked side by side with Donald Trump, helped draft policy, helped draft executive orders. This is the guy who knows more than anyone else, second only maybe to Reince Priebus. So at this point, Steve Bannon has lost everything. He lost his job at Breitbart, had to resign. He lost his funding from people like the Mercers. He lost his position within the Trump administration. He lost Donald Trump's friendship. So what does he have to lose? That's what's so great about this. Steve Bannon can go in there and spill every bean that he has in his little Trump jar and not lose anything. The right wing already hates him. So the only thing he has left to do is to appeal to the moderate Republicans, if such a thing still exists, the ones who don't like Donald Trump. He could become their hero if he's the one who helps to bring down Donald Trump. And at this point, with nothing to lose in this equation, we have no reason to believe that Bannon won't do that, especially when you consider the fact that he will be under oath. He's not going to know what Manafort and Gates and Papadopoulos have already told the grand jury, so he could easily walk himself into a lie that could result in perjury, a fine, potential jail time, or whatever happens with that, depending on the route they want to pursue. It absolutely could end up in jail time. It could be obstruction of justice, and Bannon understands that. So, since he can't gamble with what the grand jury knows or doesn't know at this point, he's going to have to be honest, which honestly is going to be hard for a guy like Steve Bannon who doesn't really know what that means. But if he wants to get even, which we have no reason to think that he doesn't, at Donald Trump for destroying his career, this testimony in front of the grand jury would be the perfect opportunity for him to do that.